Good morning, everybody. It's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and I am here to do a tag. I'm behind on my tags. I'm behind on my videos. What? What is happening with my life? So let's get into it. I was tagged by Redonkulous, and this was a while back, and it was about what you watch. I don't know the name of the tag exactly. I never pay that much attention, but it was like what you watch on YouTube when it's not about books. And he has conveniently given us some categories that we can put things in. Well, when he did it, he showed pictures of his computer screen and he showed the actual websites. Well, I'm not nearly smart enough to do that, and I have to get the computer out. My computer's half dead, and whatever. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to talk you through what I like. I have a couple of images, and we'll just talk about it. And so then you'll know a little bit more about me and my tastes and what I like to watch. Okay, so the first one is film and TV. I love to watch movie previews. The previews. There's one coming out called, what's it called? Hold on, let me get it. It's got Brad Pitt and the dog. It's called The Heart of the Beast, or In the Heart of the Beast. I'll post a picture. But I have watched that preview dozens of times now, and I can't wait to see the movie. And it's basically going to be about a Special Forces agent and his Special Forces dog, and how they get lost in Alaska and how they have to make their way back to civilization. And it's just Brad Pitt and this dog. And I'm like, what could be a better movie? Seriously, I love it. I love dogs. I love Brad Pitt. I love survival stories. So I like to watch previews. Almost exclusively previews. I like to watch previews. TV, I will watch anything having to do with Interview with the Vampire or The Vampire Lestat with Sam and Jacob. And they play Louis and Lestat in the TV series. And I will watch them on panels. I watch little clips that they put on there. I watch the clips that people put music to. Anything Interview with the Vampire, I'm so into it. So into it. Okay, sports and games, nothing. I don't watch anything with sports and games. I'm not a sports person. I could care less if a bunch of men are running around with the ball or a bunch of women are running around with the ball. I am equally uninterested. I have no desire to watch sports or games, just not my thing. And, computer games are just beyond me. I have a friend at work who is a wonderful friend. She's kind and she's sweet and everything like that. And when she comes to work, she plugs in her phone. She plugs in her ear pod from her phone. She doesn't put her phone in her ear. She puts her ear pod in. And she watches or listens to a man playing a complicated video game. And I just can't imagine that. That's beyond me. Because I would be like, what? What are we doing? And I would have to watch it, and I don't know, but she can do it without watching it. And it's just wild. But I have no sports and games, nothing in that category. Sorry. Social sciences. Now, I don't know if this is going to count as social sciences, but I adore, I don't know what channel it is, but it's these little shorts of rich men and young women getting out of cars and going into this one hotel in Monaco. And I'm going to count that as my social sciences, because that to me is just, all the men are like 150 years old and all the women are 19 and not wearing underwear. But they have these beautiful dresses on and these high heels that are like this. I would fall on my face. I would so embarrass my sugar daddy, should I ever get a sugar daddy. But they drive up in their really fancy cars, and then they get out and they go into this one hotel. And I don't know what the hotel is. I don't know why they're all going there. Monaco is small, so I don't know, but maybe they're gambling or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what rich old men and young women do. I don't want to think about that. But I'm going to count that as my social science, because I think it's freaking fascinating. Sorry about that. Coffee break. Okay, science and nature. Bears. I love bear stuff. I love it when you see the bears come across, or the hikers in the woods, and they come across the bear. I'm not into watching, I would never watch a bear attack. Like, I've never watched that. But I mean, bears are so icky and huge. And the reason I say that they're icky is because if you get a close-up shot of the bear, you'll see they're all covered in flies, and like I've heard that most bears have worms and everything like that. And the bear people don't take after me, but that's just what I've heard. So I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, correct me. But so they come across, so the hikers are, and they're videoing and everything like that. And then they go, "Hey bear, hey bear, hey bear." And then they get out their bear spray, everything like that. And the bear's just, walking up there going, "Oh, I'm so going to kill you. I'm so going to maul you." And they're like, "Hey bear, hey bear." I love that. I don't know why. That's like the only nature thing I watch. I mean, I'll occasionally watch a shark video when someone's deep sea fishing and the shark jumps out, to get the fish or something like that. But bear videos stalking hikers, I should probably see someone. There's probably something deep in my brain that's being triggered by this. Humor. I don't watch a lot of humor. I just don't, because I find things funny that most people maybe don't find funny. But I do like watching Kathy Griffin. I think, for all her controversy, I think Kathy Griffin is pretty funny. And so, like, I'm not subscribed to her channel or anything like that. Kathy, if you watch this, I love you, but I'm just, I'm subscribed to so many. But I do think Kathy Griffin is funny. So if a Kathy Griffin pops up on my feed, which I'll probably be flooded with after this video because the phone listens, then I'll watch those, because I think Kathy Griffin is very funny. Okay, and then it says, etc. Okay, so my etc. is going to be floss tube. Now, if you don't know what that is, that means you're not a cross stitcher. And floss tube is it's completely about cross stitching, and I love to cross stitch, and I have showed you my works, finished and non-finished, and I got one this week and I kitted it up and everything like that, and it says it's on black, and if I can find a picture of it, I'll post it, but if not, let me just describe it to you. It's on black fabric, and it's got a lot of red and gold and a few greens, and it says Dracula, and then there's a small picture of a castle, and then it says Bram Stoker at the bottom. And since Dracula is one of my favorite books, I'm going to do that. I'm on a book theme one. I'm trying to find like a good Jane Eyre one. I've got a Pride and Prejudice cross stitch that I could do. I've done Scrooge and Marley. And so I'm kind of on a book themed cross stitch adventure. But floss tube, and there's so many great floss tubers out there. There's so many great floss tubers. My favorite is the Seattle Stitcher. And the reason she's my favorite is she's the only floss tuber who ever answered me. I wrote her and I said something to the effect of that was beautiful. She likes Halloween stuff, and I like Halloween stuff too. But she likes other things. but I wrote her about a Halloween pattern or something like that, and she wrote me back, and I just thought that was wonderful. I mean, you want to engage with people, but some people I think get so big that it's just impossible for them to engage with other people. I mean, when you have like 1,000 comments, there's no reason, you can't. And I'm not faulting you. I usually get 5 or 6 comments, so I'm able to answer those right back. All right, what am I reading? Well, I'm still reading The Vampire Lestat. And I've got this much left, and I'm loving it. It's not like it's boring me or anything like that. It's just, let me show you this font. And I read when I go to bed, so I'm always kind of tired, but the font is tiny. It's tiny little font. And I'm really interested in Lestat and his origin story, but there's such a lineage. We have to go back in time so far for the origin story. And, so many vampires come and go, and they are made, and then they are killed, or they take their own lives. I'm not giving spoilers. But the origin story is taking a long time. It's taken a really long time. And so, but again, I'm interested. I'm not bored. I'm flipping the pages. I'm loving that. And today is going to be super hot and okie dokie, and we have rain, and I have to take my mother out so she can get her nails done. And let me tell you, if that nail place was circled with a ring of fire, she would expect me to get her through that. She gets her nails done every other Saturday, bar nothing. Is what we're gonna do, is get her nails done. And then I still have to go to the grocery store and do all the other Saturday stuff. But anyway, the next video I'm going to film is going to be about the book that I'm writing and the reception that it's gotten from my writing group, which hasn't been fantastic. It has been horrible, but it's been a little rough. And I'm trying to write about the different genres that I'm interested in and the way they affected my life. So it's going slow. It's hard to write a memoir because basically nobody's life is really that interesting unless something really interesting happened to you, and nothing really interesting has really happened to me. But I want to celebrate these books and talk about where I was in my life when I was reading them and how they made me feel. So yeah, I think I filled you in with all the news and all the updates, and I'm not going to tag anybody specifically with this one because I don't remember who Randoculus tagged, and so I'm going to tag everybody. So everybody's tagged. So if you're a YouTuber, you are tagged, and I will put the prompts in the description box, and I can't wait to see what you guys are watching out there. So in the meantime, have a fantastic Saturday, and I will check you later.